Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Monday, October 19th. I'm Jeff, here with my girl, Tori.
What's up?
What's going on?
Not much.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
You wanted some follow-up questions
I
there,
sure
huh?
did. And
How was your weekend?
It was okay. I'm very chill.
And Brandon joins us from home. Hey, it's only a half-hour show here, Brandon.
So true.
Yeah, I'm gone a week and you guys forget about me. But
No
it's all
way,
good.
buddy. I was going to say,
I feel the love.
Brandon vowed that he would not come back until the Giants win a game, so that's why he's back.
They won't.
And happy birthday,
Happy
Brandon.
birthday, buddy.
No, he didn't say that.
Thank you.
I put it in, but happy birthday. His birthday was a couple days ago. Tori's sad we're not focusing on her more.
I'm fine.
Tell us about the weekend.
It was chill. Move on.
Chill like in Chile?
No, it was just, I was fine. Just move on. It doesn't have to be about me.
Wow. Are you going to bring this up in a conversation? We're going to move on. Kim Kardashian is opening up about how the OJ Simpson trial impacted her. Kim told David Letterman on My Next Guest Needs No Introduction that the whole ordeal really divided her family. Wow, look at Dave, huh? Her mom was Nicole Brown's close friend, and her dad, Robert Kardashian, was one of OJ's lawyers, if you didn't know. Chris and Robert were divorced at the time, but Kim recalled a time when OJ called their house from jail, and OJ and Chris started arguing over the phone. Kim said as kids, she and her siblings didn't know what to believe and whose side to take. Fascinating stuff, because I guess if your dad's a lawyer of a man that he's defending, you want to presume he's innocent. Am I right?
Yeah, my dad works at a defense litigation firm, and you want to believe that your dad's representing someone good, especially when you're little. But I also know Kris Jenner spoke out very strongly against OJ during this because he was so abusive, and she's been very open and very protective of Nicole. And you could see her go when it went to court to go to the Nicole side. I mean, they were split down the middle.
Right.
And there is some talk that perhaps Robert Kardashian wishes he hadn't. There's this sort of question about that she's brought up. Regrets representing OJ, so it's interesting.
It's crazy how fascinating it still is all these years later. Brandon, were you I mean, you're a little bit younger, but you know the whole OJ thing. I don't know if you went through it quite like we did, but I remember watching the whole trials on TV and things like that.
Yeah, I was in the 6th grade when all this is going on, and every TV growing up, whether it was my grandparents, whether it was I'm at my parents' house, every TV was glued to the coverage. I remember when he was acquitted, I was in school. It was the 6th grade taking a test, and our teacher came in and read the verdict for us. So I can only imagine what the Kardashians, the young Kardashians, were going through at this time. But if I read the article that had a bunch of like takeaways from this interview, because it doesn't come out for another week, I believe, and she was just, to me, Kim Kardashian is doing a great job of rebranding herself. I know people think what they want about her with the sex tapes and kind of how she comes off personality-wise on Keeping Up with Kardashians. But if you think about her as a business mogul, you think about what she's doing with justice reform. I mean, she's rebranding herself, and she's putting herself out there to be someone that we talk about for a long time before the good.
I agree with you, but I'll push back a tiny little bit here. Everything is going well for Kim except Kanye. What I don't understand, if she's so into politics and prison reform, your husband is in a couple states on the ballot, like in the birthday party. I don't know whether to take her seriously politically, which I want to. She's studying to be a lawyer to pass the bar, just like her father. And I also don't know if she is, because her husband is so out there and she's like okay with it. So I have to bring that up.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point. And we probably go ahead, Brandon, what were you going to say?
But I just think about how they can flip that to work for her, because if you're thinking about the stigma of mental illness, she can say, I stood by my husband. If you talk politics, you can say that she allowed him to use his First Amendment, and she allowed him to have some sort of voice. So I see them flipping that to work for the Kardashian-Jenner brand.
Well, they're not going anywhere.
No, they're not.
I can promise you that, and we might be talking about them again before the week is over. It's only Monday. You want to do this together, Tori, like we're on the show?
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Live from New York, it's Adele!
That was as close as we're going to get.
That was
as close as we're going to get. The singer revealed that she is going to host Saturday Night Live this weekend. Could you imagine saying that?
I can't.
That's like 10 times thrown out a first pitch at a baseball game.
Amazing.
That was a good description. Adele was the musical guest on the show before, but never the host. In fact, Adele claims this will be her first time hosting anything, if you could believe that. This will also be Adele's first public appearance since losing weight. She's been posting these photos on Instagram, showing off her new look. And again, Brandon, I can't wrap my head around this one, that Adele gets hate for losing all that weight. I think she looks fantastic, and I'll just say that.
I don't, when I think of it as hate, Jeff, it's always the loudest one in the room who gets the attention. So obviously I feel like it's the people who come out and it's like, oh, why are you losing this weight? You look beautiful the way you are. And they're gonna throw some sort of shade to her, not knowing the interpersonal battle that she was going through for herself. She did that for herself. But I see her coming out on SNL as something that's going to be brilliant for her, because just think of all these musical artists. They haven't had a time to do concerts or festivals, or how have they stayed relevant? TikTok dances and speaking out on politics on social media. So the fact that she gets to be on SNL is going to be great for her.
My take on this, I appreciate that, is I don't care about her weight loss. She's gonna say whatever you want. I think it's super interesting to have one of the best musicians of our time be the host and not the musical guest. That's a really interesting take that SNL is doing. That obviously means to me maybe she wants to do more hosting, more acting, get into that. Her, which is not her, but her is the musical guest. But what to me it says is Adele is interesting in changing lanes. Her album is dropping, of course, at the end of October, but that's the news for me. It's not she's gonna lose weight. I could care less. I've talked about it enough. Done. I'm over it. Yeah. What I'm interested in is how does Adele do as a host? Because she's so lovable, much like Cardi B in her kind of on stage kind of antics. So I think she'll make a great host, but what an interesting choice for SNL.
Yeah, and I love when people challenge themselves. Listen, respect it or not, that's a hard task to lose that much weight, right? You have to really challenge your mind, challenge your body to get down to that weight. And Adele not hosting anything and then going on Saturday Night Live, that's challenging yourself.
That's
and I respect that.
Yes.
I respect that big time. So good luck to her. By the way, Justin Bieber was amazing on SNL this past weekend. Check it out, YouTube it. Matthew McConaughey is an open book when it comes to revealing details about his family. Check this out. While promoting his new memoir, Green Lights, he told People magazine that his dad died while making love to his mother. Matthew said his dad always joked about dying in bed during sex.
Who doesn't?
And it seems he was right. I was going to say something right there, but I'm not. He passed away from a heart attack in 1992. It seems like he's like, I don't want to say happy about this, but he's not afraid to share it. I don't know.
Okay, and just so you know, Matthew McConaughey's mother and father married 3 times. They got married, they got divorced. They got married, they got divorced. They got married, they divorced. And he even says in this, they even got, pretty violent. They were a very passionate couple. So imagine how the lovemaking must have been at like a different level.
I guess.
Do you not have that kind of like,
Brandon, could you wrap your head around this one? Do you get this passionate that you could have a heart attack one day?
Look, I just know we have a lot of viewers checking their blue pill box to make sure this isn't a common side effect. That's all I'm thinking about when I heard of this. But I believe that Matthew McConaughey has come to terms with how his parents' relationship was growing up. Just think it was last year when he was talking about hooking Hugh Grant's father up with his mother.
Yeah.
And he was saying how, we're just going to hook them up and we may not see them for the rest of the night. Well, after hearing this, Hugh Grant, you may not see your father for the rest of your life because this lady's an undertaker. She's an undertaker.
No, she's passionate and amorous.
What's that mean?
It's a good thing, Tori. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think she lives with them, and she's still a sexually active person in her older years. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. There's so much I want to say, but we're on television, so I don't know if I want to get into that gray area.
Way to say it and not say it at the same time.
And then get yelled at, get an email. How dare you say that? Anyways, I don't get emails. Cardi B, I'm gonna just move on. Speaking of divorce, Cardi B has had it with all the divorce drama. Over the weekend, Cardi called out fans on Twitter who said she and her husband, Offset, were in an abusive relationship. She also said she filed for divorce to, quote, teach him a lesson. Cardi later deleted her Twitter account, which is happening more and more.
Yeah.
After claiming her fans were harassing Offset, she also said she never put her divorce out in the public, saying it was revealed by a court clerk. Listen, I'm telling you, we get into these social media conversations, and I feel like it's almost every day now. People want to really get involved in celebrities' lives and get a behind-the-scenes look on who they are, but the more you let people in like that, the more you want to just shut off your social media. I'm sorry, I took it in a different direction. You could talk about Offset. And are they together now? I don't even know. So
yeah, they're kind of like been off and on together. I think right now they're currently.
So they're on set.
They're on set. I was gonna say it.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
Oh, come
I was like, they're on Offset. Good one though. I have to give you that. But I will say it's really hard if, for instance, you're being branded as someone in an abusive relationship for you and your partner, and it wasn't. That's a really difficult position for you and your partner. So getting off Twitter is probably the best thing she could do. Brandon, what do you think about this?
I mean, I think it's one of those situations when you continue to put your life out there on social media. Everyone wants the followers, but doesn't want their life followed.
Consequence.
And I understand you feel as though, you feel like you have to clear the air on certain things, but no, you don't. You really don't have to go out there and speak to your followers and tell them that, oh, you're not in an abusive relationship and all. Because unless the police are showing up to your house or there's some sort of court documents on some sort of abuse, then let them speculate. The more they search your name, the more hits you're going to get, which brings in more revenue to you. Keep what you want private and give the people a little bit of what they want to see and hear.
That was a good talking to.
It was like he's saying show a little ankle, but not the whole leg. Isn't that right?
Yeah, there we go.
I was going to add on, but you guys both had some good ones there. I'm going to stick with the hand I had and see if I can win the pot. See, I tried it and I ruined it.
Horrible today.
I played cards earlier. Horrible? You stole my joke.
I don't think that happened.
I'm sure you were going to say on set. That was all Big Jeff. Oh, no, now you want to take it back?
For the record, I 100% was going to say onset.
But we will never know.
Okay, so why go with your vote, not mine?
Because I said it first.
Oh, you face me. Go ahead.
Winner. Brandon, stick around. Me and Tori are going to be fighting during the break. Christy Alley doubles down on her support for the president and gets tons of backlash. Is all the criticism fair? I don't know. I was taking a look at Christy Alley. She looks all right.
She looks great.
She looks good. She's a little bit older. I was thinking about her. Why am I just having a conversation with you? And as we go to break, we got to thank our co-workers who are producing the show from home. We'll be right back, everybody.
You did it.
Welcome back to DBL. I think
Oh, man.
Me and Tori were arguing during the break. All right, welcome back to DBL. Some people think celebrities have it all, but turns out it's really hard to be a conservative in Hollywood. This is a great story. One example of this is Kirstie Alley. She got a ton of backlash for her tweet over the weekend, which said that she's voting for President Trump again because he's not a politician. But the tweet surprisingly got a lot of backlash.
No.
I can't believe it, including from other celebrities. Another example is Ice Cube. The rapper got criticized for working with the president to address racial inequality. He said that both campaigns reached out to him about his plan called Contract with Black America and said he's going to work with whoever is in power. Seems logical, but not according to Twitter. Finally, there's Jon Voight, who released this pro-President Trump video on Twitter. Why in the world would you do this? A lot of people responded that they're boycotting his movies moving forward. So we were just talking about Twitter and giving them too much. I mean, listen, it is true. It's a double standard. If you are a Republican, it's tough to put something out there that you're pro-Republican, pro-Trump. If you're a Democrat, you bake cookies and you get praised for it online.
Yeah, but that's not your fault. That's the party's fault. One is.
But I'm saying we're talking about free speech. If you're going to have free speech and supporting whoever you want on one side, you should have that exact same support on the other.
It's the most important thing about freedom of speech is that you're okay with freedom of speech, just like you said, that isn't what you like. It's not just speech you're okay with. It has to be everything. So first of all, they should be absolutely allowed. Clint Eastwood should be allowed to yell at a chair at the Republican National Convention. Jon Voight can be openly doing that, but I can openly, or other people, voice my opinion back. That's the great thing about freedom of speech. It's just a minority in Hollywood because it's a very liberal, out there kind of creative space. So if you do go conservative, you're taking a really big chance, but you should expect the consequences, no?
I guess, but here's the deal. I was looking up stuff over the weekend because I'm always diving into this, Brandon. And the Pew Research Center did a thing on Twitter specifically, right? 10% of the people on Twitter produce 92% of the content. Do you know what that means? So you're getting the small little minority criticizing everybody that's using Twitter.
And I think that's why everyone's out there saying fake news, you know, Jeff, for that exact reason. I think that everyone needs to open up their bubble and talk to America, not just people who are like-minded like them, but people who are going through it, women, people of the LGBTQ, black people, conservatives. Have conversations, have these open conversations, because we're going to get nowhere if we continue this divisiveness.
And that conversation should happen off Twitter. You're right, like have a real conversation.
Right, because it's a conversation. If you say, you know what, I kind of support Trump, and someone calls you a racist, that conversation's over.
It's over, right?
It's over right there.
That's not a conversation.
That's not a conversation, and on social media, you cannot have those conversations. That's why I like coming here, even though. Bye, Brandon. We'll be right back, buddy.
Welcome back to DBL. When it comes to plastic surgeons, did you know only a small percentage are women? Well, Dr. Kat from E's Dr. 90210 is spilling all the secrets about what it's like working as one of the top surgeons in Hollywood. Lindsay caught up with her earlier in today's DBL Spotlight.
Beverly Hills is the mecca of plastic surgery, but only 15% of plastic surgeons are women. That makes us a cut above the rest.
Dr. Kat Begovic, thank you so much for joining DBL. So we are so excited about Dr. 90210, which follows the life of yourself and 4 female surgeons in Beverly Hills. We usually see men as plastic surgeons, so why do you think it's so important that we see females during this series?
You know, I don't know if you know this, but less than 15% of board certified plastic surgeons are women. And, you know, as a mom, and also just from, you know, knowing my experiences growing up and never seeing women, you know, as a surgeon or as a plastic surgeon, I think that this is just an amazing opportunity for young girls and women out there to know that, hey, you know, we can be doctors too, or we can be plastic surgeons too.
Who knows better than a woman what a woman wants to feel like?
Absolutely. So as a female surgeon, are there things you do differently than male surgeons would? And also, how do you put your patients at ease?
Well, I think that being a woman, and for myself also being a plastic surgery patient, I think that that does help patients feel more comfortable, especially the female patients, in terms of opening up.
Now on the show, you deal with all different types of surgeries. So I have to ask you, what's the craziest request you've ever fulfilled?
Well, 2 things. One, I have had patients show me this just extreme photoshopped, you know, BBL, which is Brazilian butt lift result, where, you know, the waist was just, you know, super tiny, the butt was super giant, and it was really obvious that the picture had been photoshopped. And, you know, it's my responsibility as a doctor to say, you know what, this is not realistic. And also, it's just not safe to do that.
Now, people might not know this, but you're actually known as the pioneer of vaginal cosmetic surgery. And you've had celebrities like Jesse Peralta from Pussycat Dolls come to you for this. How did that come about?
You know, this surgery is actually much more common than people think. I know that being a woman, I've always been really passionate about surgeries that were very female-centric and very female-empowering, because I know that when I first discovered this surgery, you know, way back in my residency, it was something that no one talked about. I think that in the age now where we're all wearing kind of tighter clothing, like, you know, we wear leggings as everyday wear, you know, women are really seeking for a solution to feel more comfortable. And the vagina is just another body part like anything else. You know, I want to break this whole taboo where, you know, women feel like they can't talk about something that's important to them.
Now, you've also created your own science-backed skincare line. So I have to ask you, because you have beautiful skin, what's your #1 skincare tip?
Having a daily skincare routine is so important, but also a daily sunscreen. And that was like one of my favorite products that took forever for me to formulate. Every day we're constantly exposed to harmful UV rays from the environment that are basically gonna, you know, break down collagen and give us wrinkles. So daily maintenance and prevention is the key to great skincare.
Dr. Kat, thank you so much for coming on DBL. You can catch Dr. 90210 Mondays on E. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to DBL. We only got 15 seconds, story, but we were talking about our favorite Adele song in the break.
Yes, and I love the one that makes everyone sad when she goes, "Someone like you."
I think Rolling in the Deep was the only one I could think of.
It's a good one.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow, guys. Same time, same place. Happy Monday.